Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Friday, March 24th, end of the work week. If you're like me, getting through it, ready for a weekend. I'll be headed to New York to see a friend this weekend, so definitely excited for that. Once again, my name is Alan, and I want to welcome you to my Spiritual Growth Through Recovery podcast. The purpose of these videos is to grow my spirituality by following the AA program of recovery, and I do that by being honest, vulnerable, and accountable, which is why I do these videos. All right. I'm not an expert in AA or recovery or spirituality, just sharing my experience. Like I said, that way I put some work in, at least some work in every day to grow my spirituality. All right. So the recipe here is we will read the daily reading out of the AA Daily Reflections book. I'll share some things that jump out for me, and I guess anything else that's going on that's showing me struggles, fears, gratitudes, successes, that kind of thing. All right. Let's get to it. Today's topic is going to be active, not passive. And I'm going to continue a little bit more on the sixth step in the 12 by 12. All right? Very good. Friday, March 24th. Active, not passive. Man is supposed to think and act. He wasn't made in God's image to be automation. Before I joined AA, I often did not think and reacted to people and situations. When not reacting, I act in a mechanical fashion. After joining AA, I started seeking daily guidance from a power greater than myself and learning to listen for that guidance. Then I began to make decisions and act on them rather than react to them. The results have been constructive. I no longer allow others to make decisions for me and then criticize me for it. Today and every day, with a heart full of gratitude and a desire for God's will to be done through me, my life is worth sharing, especially with my fellow alcoholics. Above all, if I do not make a religion out of anything, even AA, then it can be an open channel for God's expression. All right. Good stuff there. Once again, always good stuff. All right. First part was, kind of reacted to people and situations. I've always kind of, when drinking, selfish, using drugs, I would react based on emotions and feeling. It got me in a lot of trouble. When something would happen, boom, just react. Whatever, I feel something emotionally, and I just respond to that right away. At least today, say that by seeking daily guidance from a higher power, I find myself responding instead of reacting, which means just allow whatever I'm feeling to run its course, and then either react rationally, logically, or pray about it and allow that to speak through me, and then I respond that way. So definitely by being sober and seeking that higher power, I don't feel as responsive and then get myself in a lot of sticky situations by that way. I like the part where it talks about my life is worth sharing, especially with my fellow alcoholics. And I am really, really enjoying doing these videos. The value that these videos is given me is if I try to start rushing through my day, or I find myself not praying in the morning, or I miss a meeting, this forces me to slow down, read, really see what's going on with me, so I can at least share something coherently, if nothing else. And so there's a lot of value in that for me. And so I really appreciate doing these videos. I do hope I'll continue to do them. This is completion of week 2. So I think things are going pretty well. All right. So that's my share on that, on the video, or on the day's reading. So I want to share a little bit where I'm at with step 6. Okay. So mostly I'm on page 6 of the 12 by 12. All right. Page 65. Where it talks about this being a beginning of a lifetime job. All right. And being entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. This is something we cannot do to perfection. So this is a lifetime daily. As we notice them, we got to surrender them. Notice them, surrender them. And if I'm not sober, I definitely won't notice them, and I'm definitely not going to surrender them. The next part here talks about the key words entirely ready. Underline the fact that we want to aim at the very best we can know or learn. We'll never be perfect, right? But we just want to keep working towards. We hope to be entirely ready, even though if we'll be entirely ready, and then we won't, and then we try it again, and then we won't, and then that's okay. We're going to keep plugging away at that to have that readiness to do that. Okay, going on to page 66, it talks about even then the best of us will discover to our dismay that there's always a sticking point. A point at which we say, no, I can't give this up yet. And we shall often tread on even more dangerous ground. We cry, this I will never give up. No matter how far we progress, desires will always be found which oppose the grace of God. And I think the key here is we don't want to get to the point where we say, no, I will never give this up. I think the awareness that I'm struggling, I don't want to give this up. And I think that at that point, we pray for the willingness to be ready. I like how my sponsor spins that. If I'm not ready, at least pray for the willingness to become ready. And then over time, that readiness usually will develop. Okay. Next part here is we who have escaped these extremes are apt to congratulate ourselves. And this we're talking about the real big, the big things, like murder and violence and jealousy, those kind of things. But yet, can we? After all, hasn't it been self-interest, pure and simple, that has enabled most of us to escape? So even these little subtle things that come up, we're a little bit below here. It says, what we must recognize now is we exult in some of our defects. We really love them. And I found that to be the case. Why else would we not want to give them up? Because it gives us something, right? Talks about self-righteous anger. It can be very enjoyable, right? In a perverse way, we can actually take satisfaction in the fact that many people annoy us, for it brings a comfortable feeling of superiority. I've noticed that sometimes when I lash out, it doesn't happen very often, but when I snap at people, then there's some satisfaction in that, some rush, some sense of superiority. And I think those are the main things that, when I notice those things, and that's definitely a character defect that I need to be aware of, all right? And then it talks about where, when that definitely applies, is where it talks about gluttony or taking our comfort. I'm definitely one that will work to later on take comfort, when in reality that it's whatever I'm doing is for the wrong purpose, right? Else, why would we consume such great amounts of time wishing for what we have not, rather than working for it, or angrily looking for attributes we shall never have, instead of adjusting to the fact and accepting it? And how often we work hard with no better motive than to be secure and slothful later on. That really jumps out to me, because that's me. I work for the weekend. I get up, and the whole goal is to get off work, or Friday, today. Get off work today is my main goal, and that's just not a good way to live a life, because I'm not only am I being selfish, but I'm sacrificing the current moment for something future, and I do that all the time. And I think that's one of those things I have to be willing to let go of. And right now I'm not willing to let go of that. So I need to pray for God to remove that from me, so I can do the right thing and be present in the moment. So I hope any of that makes some sense. It definitely helps me. So as the week ends here, I want to encourage you to work on responding versus reacting. Think about that. Are you at any point where you're ready to lash back out? I do that driving a lot, and I don't like that. I just want to encourage you to never give up. Just never give up. Whatever that your battle is, if you get knocked down, just get back up again. I'm finding that the second month of sobriety, going to my third month now, particularly difficult, where I'm not feeling much joy in life. It's not there. And so the day-to-day has become more of a struggle. And so I think that's the main value of these videos for me, is to dig into some of that and be honest about that. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, whatever that looks for you. And we'll get back with you on Monday. Take care.